Toward the end of the film, Thelma and Louise parody the effective roles women are frequently assigned when they offer over-the-top apologies to the policeman before locking him in the trunk of his patrol car. As noted in Chapter 1, upon hearing the man speak about his family in a plea for mercy, Thelma gives him some advice, telling the man to be good to his family and treat them well, especially his wife. Thelma holds herself up as an example of what could happen when men abuse their power, implying that years of gaslighting, mistreatment, and unequal care relations have the power to turn a good woman bad. While Thelma and Louise experience backlash for withholding the emotional labor expected from the men in their lives, they also engage in what are often considered to be inappropriate affects or emotional responses. Some critiques of the film focus on the women's expression of anger, rage, and resentment at the injustices they encounter. In her essay, The Aptness of Anger, Amiya Srinivasan examines a related moral argument about anger, specifically the idea that anger should be avoided due to the counterproductive effects that may follow in its wake. As she contends, however, there is more to anger, normatively speaking, than its effects. Even if anger is counterproductive, we can still ask, is it the fitting response to the way the world is? Is it, in other words, apt? Srinivasan argues that while there is some truth to the argument about the underside of anger, namely that it may make things worse for the individual, she critiques these claims by pointing to moments where anger would nonetheless be an appropriate response. She observes that the false dichotomy between reason and anger is an example of effective injustice. Such instances shift the context for the person's anger from the immoral act itself to the person who was harmed. The argument that anger is counterproductive explains away the anger, making it a character flaw rather than an appropriate reaction to the experience of injustice. In this way, a moral violation emerges when anger is ignored or cast off as being counterproductive in the struggle for justice. Srinivasan points out the problem that appears when people confess they feel nothing in response to those moral wrongs when forms of anger are involved. Such responses falsely imply that the wronged person should put up with unethical or damaging behavior, and that what are deemed to be inappropriate affects or emotions are somehow worse than the offensive behavior itself.